On this day in history, November 19th, 1493, Christopher Columbus goes ashore on an island called Borikén he first saw the day before. He names it San Juan Batista, later renamed again Puerto Rico. Included in the following is an excerpt from the 1944 edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica going over the island's early history. Puerto Rico was discovered by Columbus on his second voyage to the New World, November 19, 1493. He landed on the western coast and took possession of the island in the name of Ferdinand and Isabella of Spain. This landing was the first and only time the fleet of Columbus trod the soil of what is now United States territory. After replenishing his supply of water, Columbus proceeded to Santo Domingo, first naming the island San Juan Batista in honor of Prince Juan, heir to the Spanish throne. Occasional visits for supplies were made subsequent to the discovery, but no attempt was made to establish a colony until many years later. There was a marked difference between Columbus's first and second voyage. After months of trial, he had at last been able, by favor of the Queen, to equip his 3 small craft and collect a nondescript crew of 90 men to set sail on an unknown sea westward to an unknown destination. But when he returned, giving undoubted proofs of his discovery, he at once became a hero. On his second voyage, 17 ships and several smaller craft and over 1,500 men joined in the venture. Among the hidalgos and persons of rank who were anxious to share with Columbus the expected glories and riches of the voyage was Juan Ponce de Leon. After a stay in Santo Domingo of some 15 years, during which time he rendered valuable service to the colony, Ponce de Leon persuaded the governor to supply him with ships and men to make an exploration of the island, which Columbus had named San Juan Batista. With these he sailed in 1508 and landed first at the point he had visited with Columbus. Pursuing his voyage along the north coast toward the east, he discovered the bay which afterwards became the harbor of San Juan. Because of its excellence, the explorer gave it the name of Puerto Rico, or Rich Port. By a strange inversion, the bay and capital city became San Juan, and the island became Puerto Rico. Being favorably impressed, Ponce de Leon secured colonists and supplies in Santo Domingo and founded a settlement known as Capara, near the harbor in an almost inaccessible location among the foothills. The situation was unfortunate, and the colony moved to the island in the harbor, on which is now located the city of San Juan. In 1510, Ponce de Leon became governor by order of King Ferdinand. Explorations were made with a view of finding gold, but without much success, and the future did not seem promising for the colony. Trouble with the Indians threatened owing to the efforts made by the colonists to force them to work and dig for gold. When discovered by Columbus, Puerto Rico was peopled by a tribe of Indians known as the Borikén. These Indians were a peaceful agricultural people who had developed some progressive tendencies. The social organization was similar to that of the Indians of the northern continent. The unit was the clan, and the chief was called the Cacique. The Cacique lived in a larger house than the others, which always contained the zeni, or idol of the clan. His powers were supreme, and his wives were many. There would have been no trouble with these kindly disposed natives if the Spaniards had been disposed to treat them fairly. But the settlers were eager for gold and were determined to get it at any cost. The Indians were not used to hard work, having led an Arcadian existence which required little labor to maintain. When forced to dig in the hills or wash for gold in the streams all day under a tropical sun, they succumbed or fled to the mountains to escape. The original number of natives is difficult to ascertain. Estimates vary from a few thousand to 600,000. By a system of allotment, the whole population was gradually enslaved, and under this treatment the race was in a short time exterminated. In 1582, it was officially reported that none were left. All had died from ill usage or disease, or had successfully escaped to other islands.